Another crazy day, man. Another crazy day. You we always get something major with Manchester United. Either some drama, either some news, but there's always something going on with Manchester United. And today it's just something major about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Gyökeres. Fabrizio also gives another massive update. And some people may be asking, yo, what's going on with Brian Mbeumo deal? Brian Mbeumo, when is it gonna be over the line? Brian Mbeumo, when is he gonna have his medical? Apparently, his medical is next week. So by this time next week, by Friday next week, the man would have had a medical. It's a lot of people are saying it's estimated that okay, by next week an announcement will happen as well. So let's see how that genuinely moves because hey, Fabrizio Romano, man, this guy, he comes in clutch, big Fabrizio Romano gives updates, major updates, even with a goalkeeper as well. So like Fabrizio, he's been working so hard, and yeah, let's just hear a bit of what he has to say about Mbeumo, man, because Fabrizio, man, you gotta credit his consistency, man.
We are at a quite advanced stage of the story for another Manchester United target, in this case, yes, a top target for United, and is Brian Mbeumo, because the conversation is advancing quite well between Manchester United and Brentford. Now, let's say that Manchester United, with this new proposal sent around 6 days ago to Brentford for a total package in excess of £60 million. They are advancing. They are getting closer to an agreement for Brian Mbeumo. They have an agreement with the player, and the player has been clear with Brentford, with maximum respect for the club, for the staff, for the teammates, for the fans. He loves Brentford, but he wanted to be very clear. Brian Mbeumo wants to go to Manchester United, has an agreement with Manchester United. Man United hope to get the deal done next week. But at the moment, still some work to do on the structure of the deal, structure of the add-ons, how to activate and when to pay these add-ons. So there is details of this total structure and package to be clarified for Brian Mbeumo to go to Manchester United. The club remains optimistic. They want to get it done. They're advancing, they're pushing, but still some details to clarify in order to call this deal done. So let's be patient, but for sure, Man United are working and advancing on this one, also because it's important to mention that the player is really helping Manchester United, showing his commitment, showing his intention to go there. Now it's going to be time for the club to close the deal with Brentford, but conversations, from what I'm hearing, will continue.
Yeah, that's Fabrizio Romano just saying, hey, this deal is just add-ons. It's just add-ons and a few touches, right? Next week, apparently his medical is next week, but they're just doing some add-ons, touch-ons, and things like that. So this deal is basically over the line, man. We barely see situations where the contract is signed, everything is signed, but the add-ons fall apart. We barely see situations like that. This deal, it's pretty much 90% over the line, right? After those add-ons have been sorted out, he's genuinely gonna go for his medical next week. That those are the reports, and yeah, it's done, man. It is done. We're happy to just see that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get Mbeumo, bro. Mbeumo over the line, and after that, it's a Gyökeres situation. Gyökeres to Manchester United. Apparently, we are the favorites for that one. We are the main favorites for this one. A lot of news sources are coming out to just say, "Hey, Man United, we've taken we've taken charge out of nowhere." Right? Yesterday we were hearing sources saying, "Hey, Viktor Gyökeres has told Man United he wants to join them. He only wants Man United." And now more sources are just coming out to say, "Hey, Man United are the front runners for Viktor Gyökeres." So, hey, looks like it's just a situation where he wants to play for Ruben Amorim. He trusts Ruben Amorim, and low key, I'm not really surprised. Not really surprised with this because he, when they were together at Sporting, you could see the love between Ruben, Gyökeres. It was genuinely strong, right? These two, they were really, they really had that type of relationship where okay, they trust each other, they play for each other. Ruben Amorim trusts Gyökeres, so I'm not really surprised that okay, if he does come, he comes for Ruben Amorim. And if he does come, it's because of Ruben Amorim, if that makes sense. So it looks like, hey, this deal might just genuinely happen because too many sources, after that Arsenal situation just broke down, I don't even think the Arsenal thing was even a thing, man. I genuinely just believe, okay, it's awkward that, okay, Man United are touching up, finishing up with Brian Mbeumo, and now we're getting these links, these these reports that we're now favorites for Gyökeres, right? Right after we finished the Brian Mbeumo deal, right after we finished that deal, and now we're looking for a striker. Now we're favorites for Gyökeres. So I don't think it's a coincidence, man. I just genuinely think, hey, Ruben Amorim told this guy, yo, okay, this is the situation. We need to sign this or these two players, and then we'll come for you. Just wait, just be patient. After we sign Brian Mbeumo, we're gonna come for you. We're gonna make our first bid. I genuinely believe that was like the conversations between Gyökeres and Ruben, man. But with Fabrizio Romano as well, this guy, he has been active. Obviously, we've seen a situation where we're being linked to like goalkeepers, things like that. And Fabrizio Romano, man, he never misses. He never misses with the updates. Let's just hear a bit about what he has to say about the goalkeeping
And
situation.
then many questions from you on Marco Carnesecchi, the goalkeeper from Atalanta for Manchester United. But my understanding as of today is that Manchester United have not started any serious or concrete negotiations with Atalanta for Carnesecchi. I'm not aware of concrete talks between Man United and Atalanta. They've been scouting several goalkeepers this year, including Carnesecchi, who is a very good one. But at the moment, to tell you there is a negotiation, there is a bid or whatever, I'm told that we are not at that stage of the story. And then many questions from you on
So
Marco
this
Carnesecchi.
is Kanaseki, a goalkeeper for Atalanta. We were hearing reports saying, hey, we're about to make a bid, this and that. But Fabrizio Romano coming out to say, nah, nothing is genuinely happening in the goalkeeping situation. We're focused on a striker. We're focused on just getting somebody like Gyökeres over the line, somebody that can score goals, somebody that can improve our attack as the number 9. So I think goalkeeper might just be the last priority right now for Manchester United. I don't think it's high on the list right now. I don't think we are truly chasing a goalkeeper right at this point. But the biggest situation, man, is that situation of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, man. He's being sued by Tottenham. So Tottenham, these guys, Sir Jim, Ineos, they used to sponsor Tottenham. They had an agreement for a certain period of time. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he cut that contract early, and now Tottenham, they claim that, okay, so Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, they breached a 5-year sponsorship situations because they cut that early, right? The moment Sir Jim Ratcliffe bought Manchester United, he cut his sponsorship for Tottenham. Now Tottenham, they are suing him right now. So this, a lot of people will ask, okay, how would this affect Manchester United? Because, okay, Tottenham are suing him for what, 11 million pound in damages. The contract was around 17 million. So this can affect Man United, man. No lie about it. These lawsuits, they do a lot of things to like people that are facing lawsuits like this. Obviously, and the main thing is, okay, so Jim Ratcliffe, his mind will be on this lawsuit, right? Because this lawsuit from Tottenham, it's a big thing for him. Is it a big thing for Manchester United? Uh it's only like a big thing after, let's see how much he has to pay in settlements, right? Because he could be, they could be like less money available for Man United, because we've seen Sir Jim Ratcliffe in recent times, man. The guy has been adding his own money. There were reports a few months ago saying, hey, he put in his own money for the transfer window, this and that. And with this lawsuit, that might reduce, right? Because if he has to pay Tottenham a settlement, if they do win this lawsuit case, it can affect Man United a bit, but it's not really major, bro. It's not really made. Obviously, for Sir Jim Ratcliffe personally, it's a big thing, right? Getting sued, this and that. But for Man United, it won't really. It will affect us because okay, so Jim Ratcliffe has been pumping in his own money, but if he has to pay a lawsuit settlement, that that money he's paying, it might just reduce, right? Him adding his own money into the club, it might reduce just because he has to pay Tottenham. But overall, this won't really affect us as Manchester United, man. It genuinely won't affect us. I think, of course, this lawsuit, it might. The only scenario I see it affecting us is if it goes beyond, bro. If it goes beyond and then it becomes bigger than it is, right? Where they genuinely get more out of the situation, and then maybe a scenario where okay, so Jim Ratcliffe, he's financially okay. This it won't affect him, man. It won't genuinely affect him because what we're hearing is what 11 million, bro, in damages. So for a guy like Sir Jim Ratcliffe, 11 million is nothing, bro. So I don't think this lawsuit from Tottenham will affect Manchester United. 11 million for somebody like Sir Jim. Obviously, for the average person, 11 million is insane, bro. Like, hey, you're suing me 11 million in damages, but for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it won't affect him, bro. It won't affect him. The man is a billionaire, so 11 million it's nothing to him, right? That's the type of money the guy has, right? Where you can say, hey, 11 million, this is nothing, right? So I don't think it's gonna affect Man United. I don't think this lawsuit will affect Sir Jim Ratcliffe either because 11 million in damages. Obviously, he's gonna use his company to pay for that, right? Ineos to pay for that. It might not even affect us at all because he's gonna use his company to just cover all the all the damages, bro. I genuinely see him doing that. So with this lawsuit, nothing to genuinely worry about. But yeah, Tottenham, they are bitter about him cutting the deal short. It was a 5-year deal, and then he cut it short because he bought Manchester United. So they might make money from this situation, Tottenham as a club, but overall, it won't affect Man United, and genuinely, it won't affect Sir Jim because I see him just paying this off with his company. Okay, Ineos, let's write this off as an Ineos expense. It won't genuinely come out from his own pocket, right? So it doesn't affect us. It doesn't genuinely affect us. And with the way we're moving, bro, I think we're moving a bit smarter, right? As a club with Omar Barada, these guys, it looks like they do have a genuine plan because right now we're done with the Mbeumo deal. We heard Fabrizio saying, hey, we hope for a medical next week. And a lot of sources, credible sources, guys that are up and coming, they're they're saying, okay, yeah, next week is expected to be the medical from Mbeumo. And now it's just that Gyökeres. Now we're hearing more about Gyökeres to Man United. Now we're just hearing more about, okay, this guy is our main guy. He is the main target. And with Gyökeres, he's gonna improve us so much, man. And there was a point in time where we thought this deal was game over, done and dusted, but now we're front runners, bro. Now we are front runners, and it looks like it. I think he's gonna come, genuinely gonna come. It's just a question of price tag, right? At this point, it's just a question of price tag, right? What will Sporting genuinely want for him? Because we were hearing quotes of okay, 70 m's, 60 m's. They won't live up to the agreement of his release clause, right? They won't live up to that. So it might even go up to 80 million. So right now, I think it's just a question of okay, price tag. How much will he cost? What will the wages be? I think the wages, if they did talk to Ruben, I think the wages won't really be a problem. It's just a situation of okay, so Jim, Omar Barada, are they willing to pay the price Sporting wants? Right? Because right now it looks like Arsenal, they're focused on somebody else. Liverpool, they're focused on Isaac. And we were hearing some rumors saying, hey, Isaac was an option for Man United, but one negotiating with Newcastle after you took Dan Ashworth. I don't think a situation of Isaac happening is is realistic. Apparently, he was an option or something like that. But I think one, Newcastle already hate us because of Dan Ashworth. Two, Isaac, he'll be over 100 million. So I think those rumors are a bit fake, man. If it was somebody like Fabrizio Romano saying, hey, Isaac to Man United, he's an option, he's a realistic target, then we start listening, bro. Then we genuinely do start listening, man. Because, hey, we do, we are moving, man. We are moving. You're saying Gyökeres' agent is De Jong. It's like a plot to ah, because if he was going to Arsenal, they would have made a bid, bro. That's the only thing, bro. That's the only thing. I think they would have made a bid. Arsenal, we know ho. Arsenal, their main priority probably is a striker or something like that, right? Us, we had so many positions to solve. Okay, Cunha had to come in, Mbeumo had to come in. With Arsenal, they already know the situation with Gyökeres. They know, okay, there's a lot of competition for this man. They would have made a bid early. So I think behind the scenes, we told him, yo, wait for us. Let's get this Brian Mbeumo deal over the line. And then we're going to come for you. Right? And then we're going to come for you. And now we're hearing all these reports saying Man United are favorites. He's coming to Manchester. He's been talking to Ruben Amorim, this and that. So all the Arsenal reports have really slimmed down, bro. We were hearing so much. Yeah, George Mendes, he is like Gyökeres' agent, right? I don't think his agent will really affect this deal massively, bro. Maybe he's gonna want some type of agent fees. We know how these agents of today are, right? They want agent fees. They want money for themselves as well. They want to make money from the deal. And that's how a lot of agents are. Unless your agent is like your brother or your family member, if it's like a professional agent where you just met, it's a business relationship. He wants to make money from the deal, right? So ish, will the agent affect this move and say, okay, Arsenal are offering more money, let's go to Arsenal because they will pay more agent fees as well? I don't think the agent will affect the deal too much, bro. I don't think the agent will affect the deal too much because Gyökeres, it's about his career, bro. It is about his career. Okay, I want to go to a team where one, I at least trust the manager, bro. Because if Gyökeres goes to Arsenal in a few seasons, Arteta, one, will the man be there? Two, he always switches up the way he plays his football. Arteta. Today it's Kai Havertz in attack. The next day, so he Gyökeres, he's thinking about his future. Okay, which one looks more stable, bro? Because of course, right now, Arsenal, they look like, okay, they're challenging for the league, this and that. They're in the Champions League. They look better than Manchester United, but with Man United, I think if you are a striker, you're just allured. Okay, I'm gonna be the guy that brings these guys back to the top. I think that's more of an achievement, bro. That is a massive achievement. I'm gonna be the guy that brings Manchester United back to the top. Mendes is a super agent and has good ties with United, and that's another main thing, bro. That is another main thing. So I think everything aligns with this Gyökeres deal, bro. He's agent, really good guy. He has a relationship with Man United. Gyökeres, Ruben Amorim, they have a good relationship. So I think it's just gonna come down to price tag. That price tag. What are these guys gonna be asking for, right? What are Sporting Lisbon gonna want from her? You're saying bring with us like I don't think that we will go for him though, bro. Because these Joker, I do genuinely believe, okay, Jokeres is gonna be our striker next season. This season, sorry. Because before that 19th of July, we will have probably our first bid, that first bid for Gyökeres, and then you focus on this guy. So it's we're moving well, man. I won't even lie. We're moving more organized. Before, by this time in the transfer window, we don't even have one signing, or maybe the one signing you have is somebody basic. So I think so far you gotta credit, okay, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, they're doing their thing behind the scenes. They are negotiating well. They are getting some deals over the line, and it's a bit more organized with the forward line. Let's hope it is Gyökeres. If it is Gyökeres, he's gonna improve us massively. I know some people, they're not fully sold with Gyökeres. They're not fully sold with him as a player, as a striker, but it's just a viewpoint of, okay, this is the guy Ruben Amorim wants. Let's give the manager what he wants, right? Because if it's Gyökeres, let's just give a scenario. You give him Mateta, right? He doesn't want Mateta, right? Obviously, a lot of fans, we do rate Mateta. We want Mateta. But let's just give a scenario. You give him Mateta, and then you're back to square one, bro, with Joshua Zerski. So we're gonna be back to square one if you just give him a striker he doesn't want, right? I think it's just a scenario of give him the people he wants, right? Give him somebody he genuinely wants. So Ruben, I do believe, okay, he's talking to the board and saying, okay, at least give me a foundation of players that can play my system, right? Somebody like Mbeumo, he's gonna fit in. Somebody like Cunha, he's gonna fit in. And now Gyökeres, a man he knows, he's gonna genuinely fit in. And I don't see a scenario where we go the whole window without signing somebody from Sporting Lisbon, man. And some bad news about like Jadon Sancho, right? Some bad news. Obviously, we're trying to sell him, but looks like Napoli, Juventus, they've dropped out of this deal, bro. This was coming from Fabrizio Romano. He was saying both these clubs are unwilling to pay Jadon Sancho's salary. So this is gonna be an issue, man. The salary of Jadon Sancho, he doesn't want to take a pay cut wherever he goes. Galatasaray, apparently those were fake news. And Fabrizio Romano is saying Napoli and Juventus are unwilling to pay his wages. So that deal looks like it's falling apart. Looks like it's gonna be an obstacle getting rid of Jadon Sancho, especially just based on the wages he has, especially just based on him as a player, bro. Him as a player, obviously clubs are willing to pay his transfer fee, but not his wages. That's the main thing. So I just see a scenario where he might stay. He might stay and he'll just be probably in the reserve, run down his contract, because we've seen players do this before, man. We've seen players do this before. They run down their contract. They genuinely do weird things, bro. Run down your contract so that you can make extra money as a free agent. I think that's what Jadon Sancho is gonna try and do if he doesn't get the salary he wants, right? And you can see right now it's not even about football for Jadon Sancho, right? He doesn't it looks like he doesn't really care about playing football. He just wants money. Okay, which team will pay me the most? I'm gonna go there. If no team pays me what I want, I'm gonna run down my contract. It's fine. I'll play in the reserves. It's fine. I won't play games. I'll run down my contract, become a free agent, get that massive bonus of a free agent. So we might be stuck with this Jadon Sancho situation, man, because of course a lot of people wanted this man gone, right? We wanted this guy gone early, at least sell him and bring in guys that can free up the wages, right? He's taking so much wages. Well, these wages, they can go to somebody like a Gyökeres, go to somebody like a Mbeumo. At least if Sancho won't be playing, there's no point in paying him. So let's hope we find a solution. If the club can just offer him to Saudi, since he wants money, go to Saudi, man. since that's what he wants, like, okay, you want money, just go to Saudi then. Like, go to Saudi. They're gonna pay you even more than what Man United are paying you. Because in Europe, I don't think anyone will pay him what we are paying him. So it just shows you how bad our management team was, right? You're giving Sancho all this money, and now we're regretting, and now you can't really get rid of him, right? With Sancho, it's not like when we signed him, of course, he was a massive player. He was a genuinely massive player, but he was still young. So the wages we gave him, they were outrageous. I know there was competition when we signed Sancho. A lot of teams wanted him. We got him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted him in his team. Oli was chasing Jadon Sancho. Oli loved Jadon Sancho. So the our club, Man United, we overpaid for his wages, right? Obviously his first contract for Man United, it should have been something simple, man, something simple, and then you keep him hungry for a raise, bro. You keep him hungry for a raise. With Sancho, he got that massive money, and now he's not hungry anymore, bro. He's not hungry anymore, bro. Come on, man. With Jadon, he's far from hungry. Like, let's see what happens with Jadon, but also like Rashford. At least Rashford, okay, he's gonna take a pay cut for Barca, but Barca only want a loan deal. Looks like the only realistic guy to sell is Rasmus. So let's just genuinely see with goalkeepers. We heard what Fabrizio Romano had to say. Midfielders, of course, we're gonna go in for some guys, but looks like that Ardon Jashari deal, it we might not be able to hijack it because a few days ago we're hearing Man United might hijack that deal, but looks like AC Milan are too advanced with him. I think he will end up at AC Milan. So it'll be interesting to see the midfielders that do come in, bro, because at least build a foundation where you can genuinely, as Man United fans, we can genuinely be happy, like happy with the team we have from defense to attack, bro. The whole team, the foundation, because we're seeing Manchester City, right? Manchester City's B team, they're good enough to start for any team in the world. So it's crazy how the levels, man, the levels Man City have built. We need to thrive to actually reach a level like that where, okay, our bench players are also good enough to start for other teams, bro. Yeah, we need people that want to play for the club, bro. That is what Omar Barada said. Okay, just bring in guys that want to genuinely just play for the club, take Man United to that next level, because at least step by step progress, right? That's all we're begging for. Step by step progress, a situation where we're all satisfied. At least as United fans, we're satisfied with the situation, right? Step by step progress, go game by game, but guys that want to be here, because with Cunha, he's a massive signing because he wants to be here. He loves Manchester United. He's gonna give everything for Manchester United, man. Yeah, I agree with that. Yo, billionaires, don't really give a they don't really care about the fans though, right? We know that. We know that. The Glazers, they don't care. Sir Jim, that's obviously for Sir Jim. I wouldn't say he's trying to make money, right? Is he trying to make money? Ah, from Man United, he's lost more than he's gained after buying Man United. That's all I can say. But with Sir Jim, we just want this guy to deliver, right? Deliver something, deliver a squad where we are competing. With the Glazers, we already know, yo, these guys, they only want money, bro. They've never invested anything. They're always taking out money. With Sir Jim, it looks like he's lost more than he's gained, right? He's lost over like 3 billion or something, estimate, just right after owning Manchester United. So Sir Jim has lost a lot, bro. He has lost a lot, but he's in the same category because billionaires really and truly, hey, a lot of them, They don't really care about, okay, what the fans want. They don't really care about what the fans want. Maybe guys like the Qataris, these guys, they would have put in everything to bring us back to the top, right? And Sir Jim Ratcliffe, of course, it's a slower process with Sir Jim. It's more organized, this and that, and some people love it, some people hate it. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, let's just hope he succeeds, bro. Let's just hope the man succeeds. With that lawsuit, it won't really affect us, and I just hope by by next week, at least by next season, we have a team that's at least challenging for something, right? The season after this season, we're in a situation where we are at least in the conversation. I'm not saying win the league the season after this, right? I'm just saying at least build a team that can be in the conversation, man. Build a team that can at least scare other teams, bro. We need to start doing what Liverpool are doing. Like, okay, you're scaring other teams, right? First you buy Verts, and then you're going to go for Isaac. That's the scenario we need to be in, at least in 2 seasons, where okay, people are looking at you as serious title contenders. Oh, their team is gonna win the league. That's the type of team we need to build, bro. You're saying it's not George Mendes. I don't really know who his agent is, Gyökeres. Gyökeres, but hey, let's just hope he comes, right? Apparently he switched agents or something, right? So Gyökeres, the only situation is, oh, does this man come, right? And if he does come, for how much? What wages is he gonna be on? I think these guys, board level wise, they've talked about all this, right? They have a scenario of, okay, these are our main strikers: Gyökeres, Hugo Ekitike, Benjamin Sesko. Which one are they gonna genuinely go for? You're saying, what do you think the outcome will be for Rashford? Ah, I genuinely believe, yo, Rashford, it just might be a loan situation, man, because looks like the clubs that do want to pay his transfer fee don't want to pay his wages. But Barcelona, a club that can pay his wages, don't want to pay his transfer fee. So it's a complicated situation with Rashford, bro. The people that do want to pay his transfer fee, he doesn't want to take a pay cut and go, right? But Barca, they don't want to pay his transfer fee. So it might just be a loan situation. Let's see if that Barca, because a lot of journalists that are massive in Spain are talking about this Rashford deal, saying, hey, if it does happen, it's going to be a loan move. They're not really going to pay the asking price Manchester United want. But Man United, we want to just get rid of him. Get rid of him, gain some money, and eradicate his wages off Manchester United. Because with Barca, the reason they want like a loan is because they want Man United to cover some of these wages. We know how loan situations work, bro. And so Barcelona, they're trying to play us, bro. They are trying to play us with Marcus Rashford, right? The reason they only want a loan deal is because they want us to cover like 40% of Marcus Rashford's wages or something like that. So it makes sense for them like that, right? A loan deal where, okay, they don't cover 100% of Marcus Rashford's wages. We cover maybe 40%. They cover 60%. So that's what Barcelona want, bro. But Man United, that deal doesn't really make sense, bro. It's gonna be another Jadon Sancho situation where you loan a player out, and then the other season they come back and it's the same headache, bro. It's the same headache. So with Rashford, you gotta sell him. If you sell him, just sell him, bro. Find somebody, regardless of whether he wants to go or not. You gotta just sell him. Yeah, if Saudi are willing to pay, hey, send him to Saudi. That should be the mindset right now, because you don't want another Jadon Sancho situation where you loan a player out and then in next season you're back to square one. Oh no, we have to sell him now. It's gonna be another Jadon Sancho situation. These loan with an option to buy, it doesn't work anymore, bro. It doesn't genuinely work. We've seen it with Jadon Sancho. So we shouldn't allow Barcelona just to come in for a loan. You gotta buy Rashford. Buy him now. Put in the money, man. You're saying his agent is notorious for forcing moves, getting huge pay cuts. Oh, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. So Gyökeres' agent is really notorious for like pay cuts and forcing moves. Yeah, we can see the situation with like Gyökeres. He's trying to force a move. He's handed in a transfer request. We heard all that from Fabrizio Romano, man. So Gyökeres, I still believe he's gonna come to us, right? I still believe we are the major guys in that Gyökeres situation, but yeah, just wanted to give a quick update on this. So Jim Ratcliffe getting sued. Gyökeres, apparently we are favorites. Goalkeepers, we heard from Fabrizio Romano saying, hey, there's really nothing going on, bro. There's really nothing going on.
And then many questions from you on Marco Carnesecchi, the goalkeeper from Atalanta for Manchester United. But my understanding as of today is that Manchester United have not started any serious or concrete negotiations with Atalanta for Carnesecchi. I'm not aware of concrete talks between Man United and Atalanta. They've been scouting several goalkeepers this year, including Carnesecchi, who is a very good one. But at the moment to tell you there is a negotiation, there is a bid or whatever, I'm told that we are not at that stage of the story. And then many questions from
So Fabrizio giving so many updates. He gave an update on Jadon Sancho. That whole situation has fallen apart. He's given an update on goalkeepers. We have a list, but right now we're not really focused on that position. It's just Gyökeres. And what you're saying about hey his agent, that might be a massive factor because let's see how his agent actually operates with this whole Gyökeres situation, even wages as well. Do I see a scenario where Man United we break our wage structure just for Gyökeres? It's I don't see that as a likely situation, bro. I don't see that as a likely situation. Uh I would like Gyökeres as a Man United player just based on him and Ruben Amorim, bro. Him and Ruben Amorim, right? He's already worked under Ruben Amorim. He already knows the system. Obviously, it is a scenario where, okay, if you do sign Gyökeres and it doesn't work out for Ruben Amorim, then the next manager would he want a Gyökeres? But I want Gyökeres just based on okay, Ruben Amorim, that's the guy he wants. I just want us to be successful next season, bro. Because this season, sorry, at least go back into that top four, right? I just want us to be sourcing this season, winning game after game. Because last season, it's a season to forget, bro. It's a season to forget. Bottom half of the table, negative goal difference. I want us to move out from those situations, bro. I just want people that are gonna bring us goals, creativity, goals. That's what we were lacking. We watched the whole season last season, bro. This week in, week out, you're failing to score. Week in, week out, you're getting destroyed. It was heartbreaking, bro. It was heartbreaking because last season, 3-0 Bournemouth, 3-0 Liverpool, it was heartbreaking, bro. So it's not really necessarily the goals we're conceding. We were also failing to score. So a guy like Gyökeres, he's gonna bring some goals. That's just what we need right now, right? It's a massive improvement on us. Højlund. Gyökeres is a massive improvement on Højlund. And if he does come in, bro, those are the guys we should be going for. Because Gyökeres, for sure, he knows the manager, bro. He knows the manager. Yeah, I also expect us to get him in, bro. I expect him to just come in. You're saying his agent, oh, destroying our dressing room with all the leaks. Yeah, that's the main thing, bro. If he does have like leaks and things like that, because we know last season we got rid of a lot of leaks because last season we saw the situation under Eric Ten Hag, especially before Eric Ten Hag got fired. The team news was coming out maybe 3 hours before the actual game. So many leaks about this and that, players fighting, this and that. So let's hope that's not the case, bro, because we don't need any toxic leaks, things like that. So we sorted that situation out, bro. We did sort that situation out last season, especially under Eric Ten Hag. We had a lot of leaks, a lot of situation where exclusive news was just coming out, right? Coming out every week, every week. Team news coming out 3 hours early. So it was a mess, man. It was a mess with the leaks. It was a mess with Manchester United. But I think right now we are moving forward, bro. We are genuinely moving forward. A bit optimistic about this season, but not overly optimistic. You're saying we got rid of Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho. Yeah, for the constant. I do genuinely believe, okay, just getting rid of those three, it's just gonna help the environment. We saw what Ruben Amram did the moment he got rid of Rashford. I I think it just cleared a lot, man. It cleared a lot with Ruben. He didn't want Rashford there because Rashford apparently he was like a bad influence in the dressing room. So if you gotta get rid of him, get rid of him. With Garnacho, we saw how he was disrespecting Man United and the manager after that Europa League final. So both of these guys have to go. Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho as well, bro. Sancho as well, man. You think next season we will be great? Ah. I hope so, bro. Let's hope we cook. Let's hope we cook something delicious. You're right, bro. Like next season, let's just be together as a club. Fundamentally, we need to start just moving the way Manchester United are meant to be moving, bro. I think the foundation we just need to build. This is a season for building a foundation, and then the season after that, you start competing, bro. I genuinely do believe, okay, build a strong foundation. You've brought in Cunha, guys that can genuinely bring in consistency. That's what we need. Guys that are already consistent for other clubs, guys that are performing in the Premier League, right? And then you bring in a Gyökeres, a guy that's scoring goals in Europe, right? One of the highest goal scorers in Europe. So you're building a foundation this season, and then maybe January, maybe the next season, you start filling up the spaces, right? Okay, yeah, this space we can improve a bit more. That space we can improve a bit more. So we're building a foundation, man. And that's the most important thing. Build that foundation, start competing, start going to the next level, bro. Because I don't think any United fan wants to experience what we experienced last season. Every week, it's inconsistency. Every week, guys need 10 chances to score one goal, right? We saw how last season was. Sometimes you don't even create anything. So last season was so depressing, bro. It was so depressing. It was so low. At least this season, let's just hope for something better. Let's just hope that, okay, as Man United, we're just in a situation where we are competing, we are moving forward, and genuinely appreciate everybody that joined the stream. I do believe we are gonna we are gonna cook something, man. A midfielder will come, and I think it's the same situation with the midfield. Okay, we're keeping it under wrap, we're keeping it quiet until we officially strike, bro. Until we officially strike, because midfield it might be a striker situation where right now we're hearing news about Gyökeres. I think that's gonna be the same thing. I think Edison is still number one. I genuinely do believe Edison is still number one. They're just keeping it quiet. They're just keeping it under wrap because the midfielder we bring in is gonna be a top class. I genuinely do. I have that feeling that okay, the midfielder we bring in is gonna be top level because it doesn't make sense you bring in Cunha top level, Mbeumo a good player that's genuinely doing his thing. Gyökeres, you were being linked to so many good players in every position. So the midfield is gonna be a top player, bro. These stories we're hearing about Wilfred Ndidi, I think Wilfred Ndidi might just be a backup, a plan B, a bench player we bring in, right? He's not gonna be the main midfielder. The main midfielder, I think, is gonna be somebody insane. Just like Cunha, just like Mbeumo, just like Gyökeres. I think the midfielder we're gonna bring in, he's gonna be top class. I do genuinely think it's gonna be Edison, man. But yeah, it's crazy with Man United. Let's just build a team that can compete. At least your foundation of the starting lineup is gonna be good. And looks like Casemiro is not really going anywhere. So a bench player like Casemiro, that's a good bench option to have, bro. With Kobbie Mainoo, apparently he's about to sign a contract, right? They wanna get that contract over the line, right? Kobbie, he wants to stay. Man United, they want him to stay, so they just wanna agree a fee, right? Obviously, what Kobbie Mainoo was asking for was ridiculous, bro, especially for how young he is, right? You're still young, money like that, you gotta work for it, bro. You gotta work for it. You gotta show consistency for money like that. 180,000 a week. You gotta show consistency for money like that. I know Kobbie Mainoo, he scored in an FA Cup final, but to make money like that, you gotta be showing consistency, because I don't even think somebody like Cole Palmer is on that type of money, bro. I don't think that's the situation. Even somebody like a Cole Palmer at Chelsea, I don't think he's on that type of money Kobbie Mainoo wants. So Kobbie Mainoo, at least just take the money Amad Diallo is taking, bro. Like, you don't need all this money, right? At this point in your career, just focus on grinding, focus on consistency, and then the money will come, man. I don't know who's advising Kobbie Mainoo to just chase money right now. Right now, it's just about showing consistency, bro. That money will come if you just deliver. The money will come, Kobbie Mainoo. Why are you asking for so much? So, yeah, with Kobbie, let's see what happens. I think he will take like maybe a 120, maybe a 130, because with Kobbie Mainoo, it doesn't make sense to pay him more than what paying Amad Diallo, because Amad right now, he's he's more valuable than Kobbie Mainoo. He starts more games, he's delivering in more matches. And apparently Mbeumo is on 150, right? Mbeumo, a major signing like Mbeumo is on 150. So Kobbie Mainoo, you can be making more than that. So the contracts for Kobbie Mainoo, let's see what happens with whoever is advising him. They should just tell him this. Okay, look at the situation. Somebody like Mbeumo, who's gonna be playing week in week out, is on 150. You can't be asking for 180 or something like that, right? You can't be making more than guys like this. So Kobbie Mainoo, I do think he stays. I do think he compromises. Just compromise and accept the wages Man United are willing to give you, because of course Kobbie, he's a talented player. But right now, we just need to find a solution for all this, bro. Because hey, if you keep your talented players and keep growing the team, it's a really good balance, bro. Of course, that's the balance of Man United. Good academy players plus good experienced players as well, man. You're saying, yeah, it's possible that players just wanted to play Champions League. With Gyökeres, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Gyökeres, bro. You're saying he should not be given more than 80K. That's what I'm saying, because with Kobbie Mainoo, he's not really a starter, bro. He is not really a starter week in, week out. Next season, do we see a scenario where Kobbie Mainoo is playing week in, week out, right? Because the players that are playing week in, week out, guys like Mbeumo, they're not making that type of money. So Kobbie, just keep it simple, man, with the contract. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that joined this stream, man. And yeah, that's just like an update on the crazy situations with Man United. Let's hope we do get our striker over the line at least before the end of July, bro. At least before the end of July, we have a striker. That should be the situation. But I appreciate